He is the CNN anchor and host of Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, with episodes available to stream Fridays on HBO Max and airing Sundays at 7 Eastern on CNN. Chris Wallace is over here. Chris, how are you? Great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
For the second time in 2 minutes. Welcome to HBO. Can I show you around the commissary? Sarah, we'd have lunch with a dragon. You're gonna love it here, Chris. You actually are. And have you found it so far? Great company, right?
It is a great company, and this is a very exciting hybrid because on the one hand, as you just said, I'm on HBO Max, 3 interviews a week, drop each Friday. We have 3 that just dropped today. And then the best parts of those 3 interviews on CNN, prime time, 7 o'clock Sunday night. So
it all came
my
out in the
family
wash.
is here in force tonight.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of anybody better to talk about the news business with. I mean, who is more steeped in it? Obviously, your father was Mike Wallace. You worked for, I think your first job was for Walter Cronkite?
Well, job is a little bit of an overstatement. I was his gopher coffee, gopher pencils at the Democratic, at the Republican convention in 1964, the Barry Goldwater Convention, yeah.
Right. And Walter Cronkite, I mean, for those of people who don't remember, this was the last guy, perhaps, that everybody trusted. I remember when I was a kid watching TV and he was the newsman, and when a comedian, like, wanted to make a joke about, like, somebody who had utter integrity, that was the go-to, you know. Walter Cronkite, because it was understood by everybody in America that this, when he said it, both sides agreed. That is such a bygone world now that we could even have such a thing.
No, I completely agree. And in fact, in 67 or 68, he went to Vietnam. And, you know, he was a straight newsman. He didn't give commentary. He just reported the facts.
Right.
But we were in the middle of this terrible and long and bloody war. And he came back, and despite what all the generals were saying, he said, the war is not going well. Right. And Lyndon Johnson, the president at the time, supposedly said, if I've lost Walter Cronkite, I've lost America.
Right. And he did, and he did.
It's true. Yeah.
Didn't even run again.
That's right.
But today, some side, probably the right wing, would just have attacked Walter Cronkite.
No, it has gotten so siloed, if you will. You know, you've got conservative media, and they have built up an audience, and they only want to watch conservative media and what it is that you know, supports their conception, their view of the world, and liberal media, and liberals want to watch that. And distressingly few people just want to get the news and make up decisions for themselves as to what they think the truth is.
Well, that's a very small sliver of the country, I think, who even wants news. I mean, when I talk to people under 40, even, and I ask them, where do you get your news? Most of what they say is like, well, what somebody posts on my Facebook page. In other words, it's gossip. Like, that's to me what gossip is. Your friend is passing around a story. They don't know if it's true, they don't care. But, I mean, Walter Cronkite got 29 million viewers. I mean, no TV show gets even a third of that. Even the biggest hits, I don't think anymore, in prime time. This was the news. So.
And if he got 29, Huntley Brinkley got 25 or whatever. I mean, you had 50, 60 million Americans at a time when the country was a lot smaller who wanted to tune in to see the evening news. Now, I mean, in fairness, the world has changed. And, you know, you don't get your news at 6:30 at night. You're getting it all day, and you can get it on your phone or, as you say, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But the world has definitely changed, and not for the better in terms of the desire to get the straight facts and to have your preconceptions be challenged by what reality is. People don't want reality. They want their view.
And this really all came about because news used to be a lost leader for a company. It wasn't Cronkite's day.
Absolutely. I mean, with the giants of television back in the day, and by that point, I mean the owners, Bill Paley at CBS, Sarnoff at NBC, they viewed news as a public service, and that you know, it didn't have to make money. If it didn't lose money, that was okay. But even if it lost a little, that was all right. And I got to be careful with this because I know you're a huge fan of 60 Minutes. But I kind of feel that to a certain degree, 60 Minutes and my father were a little bit responsible for what happened. Not that their journalism wasn't terrific, but when 60 Minutes went on the air in '68, and then as it became more and more successful, and ended up being the #1 show in America for a number of years, it made money. And suddenly the executives and television said, you can make money with news. And I think that led to the idea of not having an audience come to you, but chasing an audience. And that led, I think, to more biased news coverage.